The Russian-Ukraine war is directly affects Nigerians and other Africans, and we cannot afford to be silent or to assume that it doesn't affect us, and therefore we have no stake in it. It affects us in at least three main ways. Number one is the question of the economy. It impacts us in the area of agriculture and steel in particular, and I know experts would go into that. It also affects us in the area of security because, as you said in our paper, one of the issues we discuss is how Russia is looking at Africa as the second war front. We know that the global power competition between Russia and the West and the war in Ukraine is playing a part, is playing out in Africa, and therefore it does affect us in that way. But also in the way it affects us when it comes to energy and infrastructure, because China and the West have been or had been a big player, and therefore you could say it affects our economy, it affects our security, and it also affects us in the sense of our global diplomatic stance when it comes to certain issues, including the war in Russia. And of course, this relationship of the West and its power competition playing out in Africa in terms of a proxy war did not start now. But we know that with the invasion of Ukraine by Russia in February last year, there were increased sanctions and increased tensions in the global stage, and that has translated itself in Africa. And it has also taken attention away from some issues that affect Africa, things like climate change, like extremist violence on the continent, and stuff like that, which were top on the global agenda. But with the war in Ukraine, they got relegated to the bottom of the agenda. And therefore, those groups or issues continue to fester and metastasize on the African continent. So I would say this war affects us both directly and indirectly, and we cannot afford to be silent or just say it doesn't affect us. It does affect us, and each and every one of us now see it in our pockets and in our shopping lists.